episodes back to the YouTube channel here to talk about the finale to The Last of Us. We have finally made it to the end, 9 episodes, and a joyful experience to say the least this season. I'm going to do the full season review after this, so check that out. But of course, we're here to talk about the finale, the shortest episode in the season, I believe, with 42 minutes. Yeah, the closest one that came remotely close was episode 4 with the introduction of Sam and Henry. So, subscribe and like, spoilers ahead, and enjoy the video. So, where do we begin? First off, it was way too short, in my opinion. Even though they achieved everything, and it's not always about achieving things. I think this is what The Last of Us season has had the issue with. And I'm not gonna agree to anything what people have been saying. People say it's a masterpiece, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, X, Y, and Z. It's had many issues. But, this episode we got for me, actually, the biggest issue with this episode is they did a whole montage of Joel killing all the soldiers within the hospital, which doesn't match Joel's character in the season. We've heard from Tommy that he's had bad moments where he's had to kill people for reasons, good or bad. We've not seen this iteration of Joel in the entire series. In anything, he's been a bit meh on the violent side of things. He's had moments, little moments, the sniper moment, he was killing zombies, but he's never had a true moment where he's been willing to kill man after man after man after man. In this hospital scene, he must wipe out at least 15 guards, plus killing Marlene without even a second thought. So you've got to put things into principle. As cool as it was, it made no sense. They made him out to be a psychopath, a villain, evil, all these things that Joel isn't. And if you'd showcased elements of that through the series, you could have gone, it was noble. And it wasn't noble because, yeah, he was trying to save Ellie. And I've always stood by the thing. Joel is in the wrong for wanting to get Ellie out of there. But the way they portrayed him, the way he just shot Marlene, like, in the game, there's an element of, is he going to do it? Is he not? In this, it's just like, boom, you're dead. Fuck you. So, as again, the hospital scene was executed, visually awesome, but in regards to telling a story, in regards to replicating what Pedro's done in this series, it makes no sense. This is where Neil, I think, has fucked up this series. He has elements from the game, then he has elements that he's trying to make up. And if you don't align them, they don't make sense. And you name me one scene in the past 9 episodes where we've seen Joel go on a rampage or kill multiple people for the sake of saving someone. It doesn't work. It doesn't happen because he barely did anything with hunters. He didn't meet Bill. He didn't really do anything with Tess when she was dying. There was no element that Joel could pull this sort of stuff off after the fact he almost died last episode. So make it make sense. Marlene's character is just really, really just who gives a shit. She was this is again another issue. She even said she was dying the last time we saw her. I know obviously I've played the game and she does return, but it's like, how have you made a full recovery, traveled across the entire country, and you were weak as well last time we saw you? It's been a long time. But again, you make the TV show to show Marlene's journey. We could have had an episode of that. There's an element of rush, there's an element of we've cut corners here and there. There's rushed elements here and there. It's like this episode went by like that. They did the giraffe sequence, which was really, really cool. I absolutely adore that scene. The interaction between Joel and Ellie were just very similar to the game. So that was, spot on the highway, the giraffe sequence. Then they obviously got flashbang, and then it was the hospital scene. Everything was just a bit too quick. This could have been an hour long. There could have been a bit more a dialogue between him and Marlene. That was like 2 seconds the first time they interacted in the episode. There could have been a bit more, like fighting rather than just going up to people like, oh, you've all got guns. You've probably killed so many people, but I'm Joel. You're all going to die in like 1 or 2 bullets. Even people that were, dropping to their knees and giving up. He just killed them all. You could have tied them up. You could have done X, Y, and Z. But no, let's make Joel like a villain because Neil's like, oh, let's try and make people hate Joel. So when we go into season 2, people know what to expect. And when the thing happens, people will be like, you know what? It was a bit of a dick end of like episode 9. So whatever. But, and I'll always say it, who gives a shit about a cure? Who gives a shit? You're in an apocalypse. There's not that many people alive in comparison to, of if it was a whole world thing and you had a cure, cool. And obviously they did change it partially of what Joel told Ellie. He said they weren't looking for a cure anymore, and raiders raided the Fireflies place. Whereas in the game, they said there's multiple people out there. They're going to use someone else, basically X, Y, and Z. I can't discredit the acting. I can't discredit the sets or the CGI. I don't know if it's CGI or actually I can't say it's a real giraffe, but the giraffe scene, I'm really grateful they put that in, as well as the multiple giraffes. But yeah, I just think the pacing was really off. It was enjoyable. It was a very okay episode. Last week's episode is light years ahead of every other episode. So in the grand scheme of things, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. It did what it needed to. It felt rushed. The beginning scene, we could have lived without, in my opinion. They literally just wanted a reason to include the voice actress of Ellie. And again, it was stupid because Marlene felt no remorse for this woman she had known her entire life. She was like, kill me, take Ellie, do whatever you want. And she's like, no, I can't kill you. 2 seconds later, boom. It's like, it's just some of the writing I worry about, Neil. But we're going to go into full details in my full season review. Guys, if you don't agree, then that is your opinion. But this is my opinion. I just think people have hyped this up. People who have their fist right up The Last of Us game's ass really need to just have an open discussion. It's like I could be the biggest Pokemon fan. Detective Pikachu was mid. I'm not the greatest Sonic fan, but the Sonic films are terrific. There's different ways to look at things. Last of Us did some good things well, but also this finale, it was very anticlimactic as well. In the game, it felt like it was ending. But when Ellie goes, swear to me, and Joel's like, I swear, and Ellie's like, okay. And it was like, I was like, that felt so poorly filmed. I don't know. It felt like there was more there, but obviously there wasn't. I don't know. But the point is, I'm excited to see Jackson in season 2. I honestly God believe if they don't restructure the way they do the next couple of seasons, it'd probably be over a couple of seasons. You could have a lot of people leaving the show. I won't go into reasons why, but in my opinion, Last of Us 2 is stupid and shit, and for all the reasons that sort of contradict what happens in the first game. You'll have to wait, but the relationship between Ellie and Joel, they just obliterate it in the second game. So that is my opinion. I'll have more opinions going forward about my predictions and thoughts and stuff for season 2. I'm going to be getting back into Last of Us Part 2 at some point, and obviously check out tomorrow my full season review and more coming from The Last of Us. Leave a comment down below what your thoughts are on episode 9. Comment your thoughts on the full season in the next video. Subscribe like always, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.